Hey guys, welcome to another episode of The Rachel Cruze Show. One of my favorite episodes is when I get to answer your questions. So this question comes from Jessica. Jessica sent her question to askrachel@daveramsey.com. And her question is, any advice on how to teach our kids about healthy money habits? My husband and I come from homes with an unhealthy relationship with money. We really want to change our family tree. Well, this is great, Jessica, because I love the fact that you pointed out how you guys were brought up, because I feel like a lot of people kind of just start in the present and in the current situation they're in and try to go forward. But going back and looking back on how you grew up is a really important starting place. So when it comes to money, specifically talking about the childhood classrooms that I talk about in the book, Know Yourself, Know Your Money, but everything from the anxious money classroom to the unstable, unaware, and secure, being able to pinpoint your parents' money habits and realize, okay, this is how they communicated about money, verbally and emotionally, because you're gonna get to see, okay, here are things that I've taken consciously or subconsciously from my childhood and have implemented it into my life and I'm doing it. Or maybe you saw things that you didn't like and you said, okay, I'm gonna do the exact opposite. But thinking through, okay, this is how we grew up, both of us in different classrooms, probably with spouses. And then here's how we want to come together. So you guys coming together and having a unified front, I think, is the number one way to teach your kids healthy money habits. When parents, not that you're gonna get it right all the time and not that you're never gonna have a money fight or a money disagreement, no. But the fact that together you're a team, when you can show that united front to your kids, that brings so much security and safety to them, not just in money, but in every part of life. So looking at you guys as a team is really important, which means you gotta be a team. You and your spouse, anyone watching, if you're married, being a team and being one is so crucial, not just to your financial health, but for your kids and what they're seeing. So that united front is number one. Number two, more is caught than taught. So if you're having these changes in your life and you're creating healthy money habits, you're creating a habit of living on a plan and being on a budget. You have the habit of questioning, why do I want this purchase? You have the habit of saying no to yourself at times. You have the habit of giving and being generous. Like when you have these type of healthy money habits, your kids are gonna pick up on that. Like you can talk to them all day, because we're gonna talk about that in a second. But honestly, just your actions speak so much louder than words. And that's such an old saying, but it's true. So more is caught than taught. And then number three, talk about it. So don't be afraid to have a conversation. And I think this is one of the best things my parents did is they would say things like, man, we would love a nice Suburban. I remember my mom wanted the Suburban and they talked about it. She was like, I really want the Suburban, but could they afford a Suburban at the time? Nope. So did they get an Astro van? Yes, they did. A blue Astro van. I'll never forget that dang van. But yeah, that's what they drove. And then what happened about 3 years later? Mom got a Suburban and it was great. But like they brought us in those conversations. They didn't burden us with it. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, kids, we can't have this. But it was like, man, I want that. But what that does is that shows that you're human. And I think parents sometimes can elevate themselves with their kids where they don't bring their kids in. They don't bring them into decisions or conversations or feelings or emotions or any of that. They almost just kind of push themselves away. But bringing your kids in and having these conversations is huge. So the fact that you're even asking the question is amazing. It honestly is, because you're aware of it and you're being intentional. And lastly, Jessica, I would say let your kids handle their own money. So this is big because they're able to learn what works, what doesn't work, make mistakes under your roof. All of that is so, so key. So let them work, earn money, so commission versus an allowance. And then when they earn money, teach them to give, save, and spend. So that tactical way of letting them, again, handle their own money. This is a huge learning curve for kids to have versus the first time they ever handle their own money or look into a checking account or anything is when they're 18 or 21, when they're out on their own. No, start this stuff early. And we have great products to help you with this. So Financial Peace Junior has the chore charts and the envelopes and all of that. Or we have the Smart Saver Banks, which are so cute for like little kids because they're clear and they can watch their little money pile up. So sweet. Sweet Amelia Jane folded our laundry. 5 years old, folded our laundry. Was it good? No. But she did it all by herself. So when we gave her $5, it's probably an expensive laundry bag, but she stuck them in her little bank and it's all wadded up, but it looks like $1 million to her, but it was so good. So there's something about those banks that it works. And my dad and I, we wrote a book called Smart Money, Smart Kids. So for parents out there, if you want to read that, because we walk through so many lessons about teaching kids how to handle money. So hopefully this will be some great resources to kind of partner alongside you as you're on this journey. Thanks so much for asking that question, because it is an important part of this money journey. It's not just for you, it's not just for your marriage, but it is about changing your family tree. So if you guys have any questions, you can ask on any of my social channels, so Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, or my Facebook community, or ask Rachel at daveramsey.com. You can email your question and I'll be answering some of those in the future. And I love it because, again, money can be a very confusing and intimidating subject, but being able to break it down and talk through it, I think is one of the best ways to learn. So thanks again for asking your question, Jessica. And remember, you guys, to take control of your money and create a life you love.